Tonight on KGW News, a massive fireball at a fireworks warehouse.
He said when he watched the video and saw the explosion, that's when he lost his hope.
The search for survivors days in as families plead for answers. Plus, public access denied on the 4th of July.
I don't think any body of water should be exclusive to one group.
Why Lake Oswego may have changed its mind, at least for part of the holiday weekend. Then, new at 11, how work is about to get underway to help Portland's iconic elk make its triumphant return. And later,
sun's out, live music in the heart of the city. It's really easy to get on board with how good that feels.
as we check out a slimmed down summer festival favorite on the Portland waterfront. Well, welcome to the holiday weekend, everyone. David Molko here with you on this Thursday as we take a live look outside on the eve of the July 4th holiday, where it appears the weather really could not be better. Let's get right to Matt Spino with a first look at your holiday forecast. Hey there, Matt.
Hey, David, thank you very much. It has been a very interesting day around Oregon with the weather. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Right now in Portland, it's clouded over a bit as we're getting clouds blowing off the tops of thunderstorms farther south, rolling over town. It's kept our temperatures in the 60s, but it's really a pleasant evening. Northwest winds at 12. You can see the moon hanging low in the southwest sky right now. Speaking of thunderstorms, there's still a few popping up in southern Oregon, and they've made their way up towards Bend, Madras, Crooked River Ranch. Got lightning and major storm there happening. And in fact, I'll be able to show that to you in just a second. But first of all, the fireworks forecast for tomorrow night. The clouds that we have right now and that we'll have in the morning will clear off, and it should be a mainly clear evening tomorrow. 69 at 8 o'clock. 67 at 9 o'clock. That's about 9:30 when most fireworks displays go off, waiting for it, of course, to get dark. Sunset around 9:03, and then by 10 o'clock, down to 65, about where we are right now. So again, it's going to be a beautiful Friday night. Cool nights and warm days through the holiday weekend. The winds are easing in the Gorge and Eastern Oregon. That's good news for the wildfires out that way. 90s again next week, but not too far into the 90s and not for too long. Hey, look at this. Big hail down in southern Oregon. Quarter-size hail. We'll show that video to you a little bit later on. And I've also got video of lightning strikes coming up in eastern Oregon. All that in a bit. David, back to you.
Wow, a lot going on. Thanks, Matt. Well, this evening we are keeping a very close eye on fires burning in both Oregon and Washington. The latest, a brush fire that sparked this afternoon near what is known as the La Center Bottoms. Clark Cowlett's Fire and Rescue saying initial reports are it was sparked by fireworks, and state crews have been helping out. Our thanks to Mary Larson, who sent us some video and images. We saw at least one chopper grabbing water from the Lewis River and dumping it on the flames. Boats are also being used to help with access. At last update, no injuries have been reported and no structures are threatened. That is important. It's unclear how big this fire has grown. Well, we've got some good news in eastern Oregon where all evacuation levels have been dropped for the Cold Springs fire that is burning near Hermiston. The fire destroyed one home, and firefighters and homeowners used heavy equipment to build control lines that helped save others. Nearly 3,000 acres of burn fueled by strong winds. At last check, that blaze is nearly 60% contained. In an update this evening, after some pushback, the city of Lake Oswego will allow some public access to the lake during limited hours this holiday weekend. Celine Stevens is here to break down the change of heart. Celine?
David, so one of the men who really pushed for that change is a part of the same pair who drove that years-long legal battle to open Oswego Lake to the public. So if you want to grab your kayak or paddleboard this weekend, you might want to aim for Saturday.
We've got two classes of people. We've got the privileged who can use the lake whenever they want, and then we've got the public.
This is Mark Kramer, the lead plaintiff in the over decade-long case that ended with Oswego Lake being opened to the public.
My whole life it's been only people on the lake go to the lake.
But for most of the holiday weekend, the city has walked that access back.
Just a few months after the lake was opened up to the public through Millennium Plaza, the city decides, well, we have a fireworks display, we have a parade, we're going to shut down the lake for 4th, 5th, and 6th, and part of the 3rd.
The city says it's about public safety over a busy few days. But after Kramer pushed back with this letter threatening litigation, the city adjusted, opening access on Saturday the 5th from approximately noon till 8, dependent on staffing. Access shuts down again Saturday night for 24 hours until Sunday at 8.
The big concern is that already we're seeing this chipping away at public access, and if it happens now, then what's to say it's not going to continue happening, and where does it stop?
Todd Prager, the other plaintiff in the case, says moving forward, his request is simple.
We want there to be a reasonable decision-making process and a rationale for when closures are actually needed.
I don't think any body of water should be exclusive to one group. But then on the other side, these people pay a lot of money for their homes, their property taxes. I feel for them a little bit, but I don't know, it's really hard.
No one from the city was available for comment, but again, they did say this is about public safety, first responder access, and a busy schedule of holiday events. I also reached out to the Lake Oswego Corporation, which manages the lake. So far, it has not responded. David?
Thanks, Celine. Appreciate the update tonight. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, a Clackamas County jury has found former Portland Trailblazer Ben McLemore guilty of rape. The assault occurred at a Lake Oswego house party in 2021. During trial, the woman testified she was incapacitated after a night of heavy drinking and unable to consent. McLemore admitted he had been drinking, but testified that the sex was consensual. He was taken into custody after the verdict and now faces a mandatory minimum of just over 8 years behind bars. Sentencing is set for Wednesday. In rural northwest Portland, a fire destroyed a home early this morning along Skyline Boulevard. Firefighters say the location made it difficult to get under control. They had to shuttle in water, and the flames even sparked a small brush fire. No one was home at the time. Investigators are trying to figure out how that fire started. And new tonight, a blazer is reportedly now heading east. According to multiple reports, including ESPN, Jabari Walker, who had just become a free agent this week, has signed with the Philadelphia 76ers. Walker, who will turn 23 in a few weeks, spent 3 seasons with the Blazers, who drafted him out of Colorado in 2022.
On this vote, the yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
And now all that's left is President Trump's signature to approve the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, because after weeks of backroom negotiations, all but 2 House Republicans voted to approve it. The president is set to sign it into law tomorrow afternoon, with critics, including Democrats, angry the bill will make cuts to social safety net programs in order to fund tax cuts and spending increases for the military and border security. Republicans argue broadly they are trying to right-size programs like Medicaid and SNAP benefits and to eliminate waste and fraud. House Speaker Mike Johnson calling concerns about people losing Medicaid coverage and rural hospitals closing, quote, far overblown.
I can tell you that this bill is going to be a great thing for everybody around the country, my constituents especially. What's good for Louisiana is good for America.
Democrats in Oregon and Washington's congressional delegation slammed the bill. Congresswoman Andrea Salinas in the statement saying, quote, this bill will increase costs, strip away health care, take food off the table of working families, and increase energy costs for all Americans, all to give tax breaks to large corporations and billionaires, end quote. We reached out to Republican Cliff Bentz after his yes vote today. So far, he says he does not have a comment. By the way, for more extensive reaction, check out our article right now on KGW.com. Okay, speaking of budgets and bills, ODOT will no longer pay the city of Portland to remove homeless camps from ODOT property within city limits. That will likely mean fewer cleanups. Evan Watson looks at the latest fallout from lawmakers' failure to pass any transportation package.
Portland leaders are expecting more tents and trash along major roadways. The Oregon Department of Transportation is cutting funding for camp removals on ODOT property, a concern to people like Michelle Taylor.
I get it, but it does keep the roads clear of garbage and trash and homeless people, so it's easier to get around.
ODOT was sending Portland $4 million per year to clear homeless camps and clean up areas near highways and bridges. The department says it's cutting the program because it no longer has the money. ODOT is also planning to announce major layoffs this month, following Oregon lawmakers' failure to pass a major transportation funding package this session. Bear Treat is currently homeless, living in a campsite near I-405 in northwest Portland.
Almost 2 weeks. That's probably the longest I ever stayed anywhere, really.
He says he's less worried about the frequency of sweeps and more worried about how Portlanders will view homeless people if cleanups are cut, even if he takes responsibility for his belongings.
It kind of scares me because now it's it's going to look really bad on people like myself, you know. And no matter how much cleaning that I'm going to do, I know it's not going to cut it, you know.
Portland Mayor Keith Wilson criticized ODOT's decision to cut the partnership, saying it's a major blow to vital cleanup and camp removal efforts. The compounding impact of this service disruption will be more trash, more hazards, and more danger to both our unhoused and all those who rely on our critical transportation corridors. Then there's Danielle Mercia-Ruiz, a Housing First advocate who's okay with fewer sweeps in favor of more services.
I feel like cleaning up our highways is an important act, but when it comes to sweeps, I feel there's a level of inhumanity when there's not solutions afforded with that for adequate housing.
Treat says he'll step in if he notices more tents and trash in the months to come.
A group of people who would want to go out with me and clean up the streets and make sure, you know, everything looks somewhat decent, you know. I actually take a lot of pride in doing it. I think that's what I'll do.
Evan Watson, KGW News.